Uh-oh. Hello, everybody. Hello, Millie RN. First one in. Flip Flop. Hello. Hello, hippie grandma. Janice Cantrell. Hello. Single mom. WTF True Crime. One Love. Hello. Hello. Hello, Jesse. And Ricky Beavers in the house. Hello. Y'all go sub to Ricky Beavers. Hello. And that's right. God bless the United States of America. And single mom. And let's see. Yaya. Roxy D. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I thought everybody'd be watching football tonight. I was going to. Well, it's up. I'm not paying attention to it. It's up. You know, the only part I like about football is the freaking commercials. Is the commercials, because they're so funny. But I couldn't listen to it because I come across something else tonight. I did. I come across something else. And it was actually by accident. I was out roaming the streets. I can never put this phone down. I can never put the phone down. Anyway, so we're going to go over it a bit. I feel it's important. And I found some interesting stuff. And then y'all can go back to watching your football. How about that? Ooh, he just jumped over that man's head. Lordy be. I don't know who's going to win. I don't really care. I ain't had time to watch it. Like I said, yeah. I love the commercials. I'm thinking Angel might come on tomorrow and have some funny commercials for us. Yeah. I hadn't missed halftime or not. See, I couldn't find my remote earlier. I couldn't find who's been in here rambling in my stuff. I don't listen. We ain't gonna go there. But anyway, I found my remote. I don't know why I gotta have two remotes to this TV. Never mind. Y'all know me and my buttons. But whatever. We ain't gonna talk about that tonight. It is what it is. That's distracting me though. That's distracting me. Okay. Millie, I won't, if she's in here, I don't know if she's still in here. I like football. I have actually a cousin that plays on team. I won't tell y'all about that because that's none of your business. That's none of your business. He's a big football player. That's none of your business. Okay, but he ain't playing on this one. Okay. See, that's what I missed. Usher, dang it. I wanted to see Usher. Shoot, now I'm going to have to go back and do all that. Did he think it was getting hot in here? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What about Reba? I hadn't missed Reba, have I? I wanted to see if she changed clothes 10 times, even in football stadiums. I bet Usher was good. I bet he was. You're laying down in the bushes. Don't go to sleep. God, every time I lay down, I go to sleep. Hey, butterfly kisses. Hey. Hey, honey. Okay. So I want you, Millie, to drop the link for Sweet Misery True Crime YouTube. Okay. She's a small channel, but I want to start promoting her. I want her to get bigger. She's very sweet. I've been subbed to her for a while, but y'all all go over there and sub. And if you can, I was strolling like a prowling cat tonight, the streets. She did Reba's song already? Are you serious? God, I miss it all. Anyway, this is more important. And so anyway, I come across that and I thought, I'm gonna stop in here for a minute. Sometimes I don't get to drop in on my fellow people's lives and stuff like that. I kind of feel like I'm cheating everybody. I'm nobody important. She says, you got a bigger channel. It don't matter. It's not about that, people. It's not about that, okay? But here's the thing. I'm so glad I stopped in there. Now, there's been cases here and there throughout by close to where I live and stuff like that. But when I stopped in there, she was doing a case, putting out that there was a 12-year-old little girl missing. She's been missing for 8 months up in Tallahassee, which is a hop, skip, and a jump for me. As you know, I've took y'all on tour there like 2 times. I don't know why I'm drawn to that place, but I am. I like to go there. That's one of my getaways. It's nothing for me to hop in the car and go there and turn around and come back, or it's nothing for me to hop in the car there and go there and spend the night or the weekend or whatever I feel like doing. It's just whatever I feel like doing at the time. That's where I take y'all to see the little ducklings and walk around the park. That's my peace park. Let's just call it my peace park. But she's missing out in Tallahassee, my neck of the woods. And her name is Lori Page. I'm only going to do a quick live on this, and then I'm going to tell you I'm going to really dig and deep dive into this. I really am. I don't know, something's telling me to. There's a lot more to the story than what I'm going to tell you tonight, but I want to get her face out there because nobody else seems to be. And when I tell you Nancy Grace is hot about this, Nancy Grace is hot about this. You know how she can get sometimes. She's on the case and she's hot. She don't understand why nobody is doing this. Frankly, I don't either. She's missing out of Tallahassee. And again, I'm not sure what draws me there. Thank you, Millie. I'm not sure what draws me there, but it's nothing for me to go there. What's interesting about this case is there's no digital footprint. She had no computers, no access to phones, or anything like that whatsoever. Nothing. It's just, it's just sad. We're going to hear a little bit of video about it, and stuff like that. I was excited to learn that even Chris, of course he is, he's wherever Nancy Grace is. No, I'm teasing Chris. I was excited to learn that she talked to him and they were talking together, and he's in on it too. and gave some of his input. Chris thinks she's at medium risk for being lured out of the home. What upsets me is because the cops there, and listen, Florida's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. You know, Grady Judd, it's like that all throughout Florida. Florida's pretty good. I don't know what the deal is up here. And Tallahassee's pretty good too. You know, it's where state capital and everything is. But they seem to think she ran away. And they're not putting the time, the effort, anything in it. And here's the thing. Like even the mother said, she lived with the father. She didn't live with the mother. But here's the thing. Even like the mother said, and I have to agree, she's 12 years old. Even if she did run away, okay, she's a child. So what? She's a child. Where is she? 8 months? She don't have a job. It's not like she has money. Would she go out and buy a house? I mean, where is she? Where is she? How is she eating? This makes no sense. Why is she needs to be found no matter what? Exactly, Millie. Exactly. She needs to be found. Okay? And she's not getting the coverage. Do you know why do you know why she's being put out there now? Do you know who is brought her to the limelight? The only reason she's being talked about right now is because of her school teacher. Her school teacher would not stop. That's the only reason why. Her school teacher would not stop. She kept pounding the doors, kept pounding the doors of the media, kept pounding the doors, and would not stop. Listen, the cops did not even bring the dogs out. They didn't even process the house for anything. What if somebody would have come in there and got her out of her sleep? None of that. Absolutely none of it. LA just moved on. Smiley wants to go down there and walk in and get the police report. Number one. Number two, I want to keep her name and face out there. Is it because she's black? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. She's not getting no attention. None. Look her up. Lori Page. While I was in there, I also learned about something I didn't even know that would be very helpful probably to y'all. Maybe other creators knew. I didn't know. And it's called help.org. Drop that, Millie, if you will. Y'all can go research that yourself. Thank you, Daily Tab. And hi, I'm sorry for everybody coming in. I didn't get to say hi or I didn't see you. I'm sorry. I apologize. I try to like to speak to everybody, but I just felt I'd get on with it tonight. Her mom said she knows her child does not like the outdoors. And her mom said she's scared of everything. but the police labeled her as a runaway. Again, I say, and so let me see what somebody said. My ranch said, my 15-year-old daughter ran away for 4 months. I found her in the mountains of West Virginia. We live in South Carolina. She's now 33. Met a 21-year-old online, and she got her home. Thank you. Now, let me tell you something. Something else I want to say. This was going on in the other chat in Misery. But the question was, do you think because she was not because there's no digital footprint, she didn't have computers and didn't have the, now listen, we live in Florida, honey. Okay. Do you think that, just because she didn't have, maybe it was a parent that was strict, she didn't have a cell phone or computers or whatever, do you think that meant she was not able to get online or something like that? I want to hear what you think. Because my first answer was, oh, that girl still got online. I don't care how good she was. She could be a straight A student. She could be whatever. I promise you, she still found a way to get online. I know people say, not my kid, this and that. I'm not saying that's what the lady said. I'm just saying, oh yeah, library, they always find a way, even if you take all their devices away, because that's all they care about now. That's all you can take away from them. So I'm just saying, let's see, do they have evidence that it could possibly be a runaway? I think they are too quick to assume that sometimes. Again, I don't want to speak on, we'll listen to some of Nancy Grace here in just a minute. This was all like within an hour ago. Smiley just put shit together. I don't want to put nothing out that's not fact, okay? I said in that other live, and I was like, this just clicked because it's so close to me. I can drive over. Listen, there's been no searches, only what the school teacher has put together in them. It's crazy. Jinky Beck said, Smiley, there isn't much said about her father, and he works at the detention center. Exactly. And I'm wondering what the relationship was with Lori. Did she have a neighbor she talked to? I don't know, but I got a list of things. I want, since there's no, because it was asked, what can you do if there's no digital footprint? Well, there's not much you can do, but where you can start at, of course, you can start with the flyers. More of those need to get out. You can start with phone calls. Okay. You need to get in touch with, I want to talk with her school teacher. I would like to talk with her school teacher. On or offline, it don't matter to me. None of it has to be recorded. Thank you, Millie, so much. This is important to me right here because of my own family member. That is so important to me. I have some envelopes. When I get off of here, I'm going to start mailing. It may help, it may not. I'm going to start mailing, writing letters and mailing, just like I did with Summer, the news stations, the newspapers there, even here, what's close, the damn governor up there, the Capitol, whatever that needs to be done. Yes, her school teacher did love her, and she loves her enough to get out and do this and fight for her and still try to find her. Again, it don't matter if she's a runaway or not. She's been gone 8 months. 8 months. 8 months. where she's sleeping, how she eating. I don't know. But to me, she's in danger. She is a child. She's still a little child. She cannot take care of herself. Hi, Miss Chewy. Listen, Tallahassee is a very huge sex area, sex trafficking area. It also is right here at Panama City Beach. Here is a transient area, especially on the beach. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Perfect situation. She went missing June 3rd of last year. Perfect summertime. And they said they don't have reason to think she's dead. They don't have reason to think she's dead. But we're right here by I-10. You can get to I-65 easy. I-75, you can get all the way through Texas. You can get all the way to Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky. You can go all the way down Jacksonville. You can get all the way to California. High traffic. People come here, Panama City, to, even the snowbirds come here. And then they leave. Hey, Justin. And then they leave, go back home. If she was trafficked, I don't know how they would get them over to Canada. But, hey, who knows? Truckers, I don't know. Just saying. Just saying. Why was there no searches, law enforcement? Why? Why have there been no searches? No search dogs. They didn't even check the house. And a runaway or not, she needed to be found. Like Chris said, Chris told Nancy that the house should have been processed regardless. He said the house should have been processed. And drop Chris and drop Nancy. But he said that it should have been processed regardless if somebody got her or not. That would have saved time if in case somebody had took her. Chris said within 3 hours they should have processed the home, just in case. Again, 3 hours. She should have been in the news. Lori Page should have been in the news. Should have been in national news. Should have been in the news. She was not. Just wrote her off. Just wrote her off. When years ago, my cousin was in the newspaper. I can pull it up right now. Was all over the Tennessean and all in the newspapers and stuff. Well, I got a deep dive into this, but they say the newspaper, where was she at? And why are we just hearing about this? If anybody knows anything about this little girl, please call the tip line at 1-800-574-TIPS. What's going on? Eight months, and they don't even think she's dead. Margie Summers, that was her name. That's her teacher. She did everything she could to get searches going. Everything. My rent says, Smiley, detectives never searched for my daughter because she was a runaway, and I am telling you I turned many places upside down looking for her. Only thing they would do is take my information and get warrants. Wow. How old, if you don't mind, was your daughter? $15. Wow. That's sad. It's sad. And the thing is, it's funny because let's just say you got a 15 or 16-year-old even, and you take them, you go to the court or whatever to get emancipated or something. The court's going to tell you, and pretty much most of the time, that they're not able to work. They're not able to take care of themselves. So if they run away, what should be any different to that? They're in danger. Go out there and find these kids before they get hurt or worse. I don't know what's wrong with these people. I think sometimes they just get in the hands of people that don't have kids or something. I really don't know. I don't know. But I'd love to talk to the teacher. I'd love to go get the police report. I'd love to pass out the flyers. I am going to write a letter tonight, and I got, let's see how many. I might have took them over there. I just saw them last night. Let's see. Oh, I got. Uh-oh. Y'all think I'm lying. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 right here, envelopes. So I'll write at least 4 letters. There's some more over there. I was doing something with them last night. I had fallen on the floor. So I'll at least write 4 letters tonight. Get started there. Try to get her name back in the news. If you're a friend of hers, if you're a parent, of course, if you're a parent that is a friend of the family's, however you want to put it, or your child knew her, went to school with her, or was just neighborhood friends, if you knew the father or the mother and you would like to email me, we can do it offline. We can do it online. I don't know, Ricky. I really don't know. He's a correctional officer. I'd like to talk to him too. I have to really there's more to it than this. I put this together in 20 something minutes or something. And I was in her chat probably about the same, listening to evidence. I don't know. From Nancy Grace, which we're going to hear some of that. But I would love to talk to some of these people, and they can absolutely email me. We can do it online, offline, whatever. Since there's no digital footprints, I would love to get more information compiled so, you know, she has more of a chance of being found because nobody's looking for her. Nobody's looking for her. Roxy said, it's funny if your child does something wrong at the age of 15. You're responsible. Absolutely. But if they disappear or considered a runaway, they don't worry about it. Yeah, let's not worry about it. But if they do something wrong, let's come charge the parents. Hey, hell, if they're even in juvenile, let's charge the parents. You know, now they even charge, they do here, now they even charge for being in jail by the day. Or juvenile, if you're a juvenile, they'll charge the parents. I don't know what they do anywhere else. My ranch, I haven't, I don't know. I haven't got a chance. Like I said, this is so quick. I don't know. Let's listen to what Nancy Grace has to say. We'll just listen to that. Hold on. All right, let's listen to Nancy. She gets a lot of compassion.
How can a 12-year-old little girl just disappear and nobody knows anything? Not only that, this little girl goes missing June 3. Let's see, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. And nothing is being done. Why? Where is this beautiful 12-year-old girl, Lori Page, out of Tallahassee, Florida? Got a lot of questions about this investigation. But most important, where is she? Is she dead, Roxy, or alive? Who has her? What's been done to her? Has she been sex trafficked? Is she being hidden? Is she even alive? Let me give you the tip line right off the top. 850-574-TIPS. 850-574-8477. We really need your help. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Crime Stories and on Sirius XM 111. This is how the whole thing starts. Take a listen to Lieutenant Laura Varble.
She was reported missing to us on June 3rd by her father with very limited information. So Dad works overnight. He is he works in our correctional facilities. So he left late the night before, returned the next day after his shift, and she was gone.
Tallahassee.
And this was not abnormal. That was their regular pattern.
Okay, let me clarify what Lieutenant Varble is saying. After I started investigating this case, I learned when she says that's not abnormal, she doesn't mean that the girl is gone. It's not abnormal. What was not abnormal is the dad works a night shift. Mom's out of the picture. Dad has the 12-year-old girl. Everything's going along fine. He works a night shift, and then he comes home, and she's there. This is a responsible dad who works within the correctional facility, I believe at a prison, and holds down a regular job and is taking care of his 12-year-old little girl. With me, an all-star panel. But first, I want to go to a special guest who has emerged as an unlikely hero in this scenario. Margie Summers, paraprofessional at Griffin Middle School, very close with the little girl, Lori Page, who was missing, just 12 years old. I'm thinking of my little girl, who is now 16. You know what she did this morning? When she left to go to school, she left the door wide open. She walked out the door with her hands full and just left. I mean, that's the thinking. They're not thinking, right? They're children. And this little girl is just 12 years old. Margie Summers knows Lori very well, and she is the one who actually went out and organized a search for Lori on Facebook. Margaret Adams Summers. Ms. Summers, thank you for being with us. First of all, I want to address the home situation because you know, like we all know, that when a child goes missing or a child is killed, it's very likely someone in the family. And the first place you look are the male family members. You look at the dad, the stepdad, the boyfriend, the live-in, the older brother, the ex-boyfriend, anyone connected to that family. In this case, we're not seeing that kind of suggestion against Lori's father. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree with that.
What can you tell us about their living situation?
I know that about a year prior to her disappearance, that her mother brought her to the father and basically left her with her father. At that point, her father was somewhat new to parenting, but the two of them were making a go of it.
Hey, we're all new at parenting. I'm open to any and all advice, and believe me, I get plenty of advice online. You know, the other day, with me, Nicole Parton, crimeonline.com investigative reporter, and I want everybody to know, one of the reasons we have her on today is not only is she a phenomenal investigative reporter, but she is the mother of 10. She has taken in children, fostered them, and adopted them that had all sorts of learning problems, moms that neglected them and abandoned them. So she is a super mom. All right. So Nicole Parton, for instance, the other day, I posted a picture of Lucy and John David. They were being acolytes at church, and Lucy had on the cutest little dress ever. People actually wrote in that I let her wear a dress that was too short. I'm like, hello, do you notice she's in church on Sunday morning? Anyway, no matter what you do, somebody is going to find fault with it. But from all I can tell, as Margie Summers says, this dad was doing his very best. And like my dad, my whole life, he worked, as we called it, the night trick, a night job. And there was no way for him to get out of doing it. So as far as I can tell, there is no suggestion at all that this father has had anything to do with his daughter's disappearance. In fact, he is distraught.
Absolutely. That's what we're hearing. And another thing to note, it's been mentioned repeatedly, she was a wonderful student. Here's a girl who loved to go to school. She loved education. She loved learning. So that in part has to be a reflection on somewhat of the dynamic at home. This dad was doing his very best. She was in school every day. He was working. As was said, they were making a go of it. And it sounds like he was doing a really good job. 12 years old. I have an 11-year-old daughter, a child. It's a child. She's disappeared almost 250 days now. She's been missing, a little girl.
Well, I didn't even know about the story. Margie Summers, back to you. And I'm going to introduce the rest of our all-star panel who are incredible.
See, I don't, At nighttime, I don't think I could leave mine either. Knowing what I know on this YouTube street, I don't think I could leave them in the daytime either. Just knowing what I know. But a normal person, it depends, I guess, on how mature they are. But to me, I don't know. No, not at night. Definitely not at night. Definitely not all night. But again, he was out working. So I don't know. I would go back to who knew she was there alone. That's not even important right now. That's not even important right now. I would go back to he worked at the prison. Is there any prisoner? Is there anybody that got out of prison that knew his child stayed at home, or him and his wife wasn't living together anymore, or he had custody? That's what I'm saying, y'all. Not at night. But the more important, but right now they don't matter. It's done. What's done is done in this case. What's done is already done. But what I'm saying is, there's no footprint. So where do you start? Okay, he worked at a prison. I'll be going back to the dad and saying, trying to find out, just in casual conversation. Look, them COs have casual conversation. If you think they don't, then I don't know what world you live in. I don't know. Because some of them literally try to be, cordial with them. And some of them, some of the people don't want to speak to them or have shit to do with them. Wouldn't be caught dead talking to them. It's just the way it is. But who knew that Officer so-and-so's 12-year-old daughter was home alone? And they told another inmate, and another inmate told another inmate, and that inmate got out. And then they found out where Officer so-and-so's daughter was at. Well, we don't know. Did somebody go get her? Because while he was at work, and they called their buddy in prison, hey, is Officer so-and-so there? Yeah, he's over there guarding so-and-so. How do we know that didn't happen? How do we know? How do we know? We don't know. Hey, like Chris said, they should have processed the house at least within 3 hours. They didn't process it. You know why they didn't process it? They were too busy saying, oh, she was a runaway. So that's an excuse not to look for. Let's close it. See ya. Sorry. Sorry. Could have been somebody mad with him. You're right, Stephanie. No, they didn't process the house. They didn't search the house. They didn't bring dogs. There was no scent dog. There was no dogs. There was nothing. This kid barely got in the past. The only reason she's out now is because her school teacher, after 8 months, has begged and pleaded to get her name out. That's why. And I don't find it okay. I really don't find it okay.
You'll recognize a lot of their names. Margie Summers, I was just thinking about what all this child has gone through, but you knew her. It's my understanding that she was doing really well with her father, never missing school, upbeat. Is that true?
Hi, Robin.
That is very accurate. And when I later learned that there were issues, I was actually surprised. She was so put together at school. I just want to guess that she was struggling with issues at home.
Let me go straight out. Speaking of irreparable harm caused by moms and dads in your youth, Dr. Bethany Marshall is joining us. Renowned psychoanalyst joining us out of LA at drbethanymarshall.com. Dr. Bethany.
No, you're going to hear from the mother in a minute.
Help. Because see, my memories of my mother is that she did, and my dad did everything she could to help us. Of course, we grew up on a red dirt road in the middle of
I think they just assumed
Bibb County, but every day we
from
were
what I can gather
of late out of school. When I woke up at 7 a.m. in the morning, my mom was already gone to work, but she had laid out 3 breakfasts, grits and eggs, and things for us to drink. Everything was done. Our clothes were laid out the night before. We never missed school. We never missed church. In fact, I asked her one time, Mom, what would happen if I told you I didn't want to go to Sunday school this morning? And she didn't miss a beat, Bethany. She said, oh, well,
I don't know.
Pull you out of the nice school you're in right now and let you go to the Georgia Industrial Home for Girls to learn a trade. And she just kept going. I went, I gotta go get ready. So that was that. I never brought that up again. But my point is, see, it's so hard for so many people to identify with a mom that drops you off.
When the one person who is entrusted with taking care of you, making sure you're safe in this world, making sure your hair is combed, there's breakfast on the table, the person who's supposed to have a secure attachment with the father, when
Tallahassee, Florida,
hold on to their relationship with the child, she perhaps antagonistic with the father, that really destroys a child's world. And I'm going to tell you something about this little girl. Her primary attachments were with her father and with her schoolmates. I just now, the little bit I've heard on this show tells me that this is not a runaway. This is somebody who had attachments in
Michelle,
their immediate circle.
I hadn't got. It'll go into that in just a minute, I believe.
In their home.
I just know they had problems, and I think they were trying to get back together. But I think it'll get into that. I'm gonna deep dive into this case because it's so close to me. Thank you, Butterfly Kisses, because this case is so close to me, and because she
organized the search for little Lori.
Because this case is so close to me. It's a hop, skip, and a jump. And because this baby, I don't know if it's her race. I don't know if it's, I don't understand what it is that nobody, even Nancy Gray said she's not really, she hasn't heard of it. At the end of this, she begs people to please get this out. I don't know what it is, but it's like they just closed the book on it. I don't care if she's a runaway. Smiley don't care. I don't care if she's a runaway. I know what happens to runaways. I had a cousin that ran away. I told y'all. And she ran away to California. She come back in a body bag. Okay? So I know all about that. But they certainly, in that case, they didn't close the book on it. They didn't just say, okay, bye. So this little girl, I don't care who she is. I don't care if she ran away. I don't care what color she is. I don't care how old she is. I don't care if her parents are split up or not split up. There's no reason that I can't do something and make her get out, her face out. There's no reason I can't go up there and meet that teacher. There's no reason I can't speak to somebody on the phone. That's what I'm good at, right? There's no reason I can't get up off my ass and go up there and get a police report. There's no reason I can't go out there and post flyers for people to see this little girl's face more and more, right? And even if she did run away, even if she did and she got 2 blocks down the road, how do we know that a freaking ped didn't pick her up somewhere? How do we know this? We don't know anything. Everybody deserves to be found. I just told you we're right here where it's major trafficking, major transits, interstates, hubs. Hey, Chris. I don't take too lightly to this kind of stuff. I don't. It upsets me. It upsets me more when our police don't take it as serious.
Page, she is the one being heard on media speaking out about a girl gone, a little girl gone.
Hey, Andy.
Now, Margie, I called hunting for information about this girl. And no matter how many times I called, it seems as if police didn't want to speak publicly. Isn't that unusual? But I did notice after I started investigating the case myself, suddenly things started changing and moving. What happened, Margie?
I think your phone calls may have made a difference, and they may have realized that, hey, this is a big deal. 8 months is too long.
Yeah.
And I think somebody just
Nancy Grace, if you hear this, we need you on Summer Wells.
Startling fact
Make some phone calls.
8 months would shine through again.
Well, what have they done since I started poking around?
From what I understand, they've added a whole lot of resources to the case, additional detectives. They're doing a lot more legwork. They're starting over from the beginning. So it's almost like the whole investigation has kicked off in high gear.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wish this had happened 8 months ago, but to the Tallahassee PD, we would love for you to join us and help us find Lori Page. The whole reason
she's all over it.
Up to
and she ain't happy.
Stability with her father is to dispel the idea that she has gone runaway and is voluntarily staying away from home and school. Isn't it true, Margie Summers, that she was doing well at school and seemingly happy with friends?
I would say she was doing well at school. I never saw her with any particular friends, but she was so driven and so focused on school. It was almost like she didn't see school as a social environment. She saw it as a very serious learning endeavor. She would literally run from one class to the next, even though it was across the hallway, just to make sure she wasn't tardy. So she was friendly with other students and she talked to them, but she was way more serious about school than anything else.
Same.
Guys, where is this little girl? What do we know? Listen to Lieutenant Laura Varble.
She was home by herself. He had worked nights since she had come to live with him, and she would always be home while he worked his overnight shift. It was a quadruplex, so it's like there's a lot of little places, and there was a neighbor reference, obviously, for her, an adult person, that if she needed something, she had somebody to reach out to.
I'm good on my words, nothing else.
Joining us, director of the Cold Case Foundation, former homicide detective. I found him on his YouTube channel, The Interview Room. Chris McDonough, thank you so much for being with us. Does it irritate you as much as it irritates me that this child had been labeled a runaway? You know how many cases I've covered where the child was first designated a runaway and they end up dead?
100%, Nancy. I mean, in this situation, obviously, 12-year-olds, they just don't disappear. They can sometimes circumstances they do run away. However, in this particular case, if we look at it, from a 30,000 foot view, you got to take into consideration.
Chris, put his channel down, please.
On the show about this, the victim risk continuum. And when you look at that, this child falls within a medium risk in relationship to the totality of her life circumstances. With that in
I don't even know what you're saying. She's a medium risk in totality with her life circumstances. What in the hey are you saying? Can you listen? I feel like I'm hearing someone read a police report. Please dummy down for me. What are you saying?
Okay. So what you do is you have like an L-shaped risk continuum. And on one side, you write environment, situation, circumstance. On the bottom, you put low, medium, and high risk. The lower to the left, the child's daily activities, the higher the opportunity is for a suspect and or somebody in her environment. Now, in this situation,
I do still. Do you know what he's saying? Sort of. Okay. Again, we don't know what you're saying. Let me try to interpret in regular people talk. Chris McDonough, are you saying that she was at a low risk for being a runaway?
No, I'm saying she's in the medium category. I did not have
any idea what you're saying. Medium category for what?
For potentially somebody luring her out of the home through an internet situation, through anything.
So at medium risk for kidnap or luring, is that what you're saying?
Luring.
Okay, yes, medium risk because of what? Because just so you know, we have learned that she did not have a social media profile. She was not online.
Right. Well, that's not uncommon for somebody to within the family to say, well, wait a minute, she could have had a phone, she could have had access to her friends. There could have been a variety of circumstances. That's why I'm saying you take a look at her environment, the totality of her environment. Who are her friends? What access points to the internet does her father or friends have? And those are kind of things that kids.
That's what I want to know. What are her father's, what kind of friends does he have? What is his access to these people? What are their access to him and his family? I would start with his job because he works at the prison or the jail or whatever. That would be number one, what I would want to know. Again, hey, how you doing tonight? Oh, good. Me and the wife, we had problems, or Sally Mae sick, or Lori, whatever. And she's at home. No, her mother's not there. Casual talk 3 years back or whatever, for example. Just an example. I mean, get with the real world, people. It happens. And then they tell so-and-so and so-and-so, and then they get out of jail and they go over there and can, to get back, or just for the sheer heck of it, because that's what they do when they're getting out of jail. And they're one of those people, and they don't have to report until whenever. I'm just saying. The police did not even process the house. Where's this baby? 8 months. The school teacher is the one who's searching and putting her name out there. Nancy Grace finally poked the bear. Tallahassee, Andy, Tallahassee, Florida. Didn't even bring dogs. Didn't even do any of the stuff. Unreal.
You know more than anybody. I mean,
12 years old.
They sometimes use their friends' stuff. And that's the kind of.
Well, the only thing that
She
raises
did
the
say
risk in
dumb me
my
down
mind
for me.
is the fact that her dad had to work overnight and mom's not in the picture at all.
Yeah,
she
you heard me,
had
Beth Ann.
recently moved to the area. I guess
Yeah,
Lonely Summers, it was
Jacksonville,
over a year ago.
absolutely.
Yes, it was approximately a year earlier. I think it may even have been August, so the beginning of 6th grade.
Gotcha. Listen to this, guys.
She was recently moved to the area to live with Dad. She had been with Dad for about a year. She has had a lot of things happen in the course of her life, so there could be several reasons.
I don't know. I'm going to deep dive into this case. Fun to ski. I only had.
That could be.
To Dr. Bethany Marshall, I want to follow up.
I had
on what
less
we're
than an
hearing
hour to put
Lieutenant
this
say
together.
about having had a tough time of it.
I just wanted to get it out.
Starting a new school is hard enough on its own. Then your dad is gone.
I run
You get
across
home
it
in
by
the afternoon
accident.
And your dad leaves to go to work. So she's there by herself, probably musing about whatever happened during the day, maybe being homesick. So that's difficult.
Nancy, that's profoundly difficult. You know how much time you spend
Yeah,
with your
Andy.
kids
Right.
processing the events of the day? And imagine there's no one there to process the events of the day with her.
Because you never know.
If she is falling prey to some other person outside the house, there's no one for her to attach to in the house to steady her, to help make sense of her experiences. And just to boil this down even further, this is a little girl who ran from class to class, even if that other class was across the hallway. This tells me she
Tina.
was a good little girl. Good girls are victims, right? Little girls who can't say no. She's going to be hungry for attachments. Anybody who gives her love.
Maybe we might need to go up there together then.
Needs. Anybody who says, I'll keep you safe. I know you better than your own parents. She's going to gravitate to those people because she is like a thirsty little plant. Every little drop of water is going to make her spring to life, even if it's from a predator.
Joining me now is high-profile family lawyer, joining us out of North Carolina, now at triangledivorcelawyers.com. Kathleen Murphy, before you tell me what you think, I want you to hear this. Take a listen to Sydney Sumner, crimeonline.com.
When police began looking into the disappearance of 12-year-old Lori Page, detectives started by looking for her digital footprint. But Lori Page has no digital footprint. She's not on social media. Old school methods are being used to find the middle schooler.
Because they thought she was a runaway.
Talking to neighbors, putting up flyers with her name and personal details, sharing information with neighboring police agencies, and asking the public for help.
Knowing that, according to police, there was no digital footprint. She's not on Snapchat. She's not on Insta. They can't find her anywhere. But we do know there was a computer in the home. We know that because cops said that. But yet no digital footprint.
So you know that that's where she lived, close to the community park. And I'm at the community college. So, hold on, see what Selena said. When you have a show that's less serious and more fun side, I will tell you about the, wasn't there? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, God, you took it with you to 3 different bars. Yeah, we need to have one soon. Definitely. Yeah, Carrie, there's tons of apartments. Yeah, there's a lot of apartments there in Tallahassee now. That ain't no lie. Andy said, I'm telling you, probably in Jacksonville. Yeah, and you can take that down. I was just telling them early, and it goes all the way to California. It'll take you all the way to California. Hey, Crimes. They sent the tracking dogs in yet? No. No tracking dogs yet. Only 12 and said she's a runaway, not even looking for her. Right, Sassy Brenda. And here's the thing. I don't care if she's a runaway or not. Where is she? How is she going to eat? She don't have a job. Who's taking care of her? Where's she at? Who's harboring her? So, you don't just close a book on a 12-year-old runaway and say, oh, well, she ran away. Yeah, I-10 goes all the way across. Sure does. Yeah, she's just a baby. And her mama said she's scared of the dark. She would never go out in the dark. She's scared of the dark. She's scared of everything. But she liked, she was good at school. She liked school. She loved school. Again, fun to ski. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, Carrie said, I haven't done, or they have done nothing. They just counted her at barely 12 and wrote it off. Wrote it off. Yeah, absolutely. 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 Hold on a minute. Hold on. All right, make sure you remember to drop Sweet Misery True Crime also. But yeah, it's unreal. Yeah, it don't sound like, and that's what everybody's saying, Michelle. It don't sound like a runaway. Also, the county jail's closed. Okay, so her mom is going to talk here soon. Hold on just a minute. Oh, wait a minute. What did I do with my stuff? Okay.
What does this mean to you, Kathleen?
It means to me that the police
8
have not
months,
gotten that
Tina.
computer and looked at it carefully. It also
And they don't
means
think
to
she's
me
dead.
that the police have not fully investigated this case.
I don't know.
12-year-olds.
They don't have any reason to think she's dead.
To connect with somebody that makes them feel good. They're going to have that reach out. And if she's alone for a significant amount of the evening,
right, crimes,
time, and she has a computer, she has access to the computer, I wonder if the police have reviewed that computer.
Good question. Margie Summers, did the school have computers? Could she access a computer at school?
Matter of fact, Nancy, all of the kids at our school are issued computers, and they maintain those computers with them and take them home at night, charge them, and bring them back to school each and every day. Every student at Griffin Middle School has a Chromebook.
So she did have a computer.
Now, I will tell you how it used to be set up when my granddaughter had those. Yes, but there was no access to get on, the internet or whatever. However, I don't believe that from, what I could tell or whatever. But you couldn't. I mean, the school could tell and stuff. But however, I promise you, if they want to find a way to call or get on the internet or something like that, they're going to do it. They're going to do it through a friend. They're going to find a way to use the phone. They're going to find a way. And the more you say no, the more they're going to do it. They're going to rebel. I don't care how good they are. I don't care what a straight A student they are. I don't care. I dare say anything about little Lucy and John David, because we know they're perfect. But I promise you, and the more you keep them this close to you, the more they're gonna want to go out and explore. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Jinky Beck. I think school might have been it just might have been that. Very well might have been a safe haven. Well, her mom speaks on here. I have not heard from her dad yet. That don't mean he hasn't spoke. I just haven't got the chance or opportunity to dig as deep into the case as I am going to. Very important to communicate. Very. Your children need to know who you can trust, who you cannot. Listen, it's important because a lot of times they'll say, oh, I know your mom, especially if they're younger. I know your mom, or I know your dad, or your mom's sick, or they sent me to get you, or bull crap like that. Right. Just this one with Nancy, the mom did speak with. All right, let's go continue.
Has that computer been found, Margie?
I do not know the answer to that.
Well, wouldn't they have returned it to the school?
Yes, she would have checked it in at the end of the year, and I'm quite certain that she did, because just the kind of student she was. I also wanted to mention, based on what your other guest said regarding her self-esteem, I know that Lori received results of a negative test score. She was absolutely distraught and feeling terrible about her test score. She is the only student that I've ever had to say, Lori, it's not that serious. It just means we're going to have to help you in this one area. Other students, to get them even interested in their test scores is a bit of a chore, but not Lori. She took that low score very much to heart, and I was actually concerned about how sad she was regarding that test.
That just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. With me right now, Megan Crine, Director of Communications at Child Help. And if you've never heard of Child Help, please go online to childhelp.org.
Put that in there.
It's amazing. They care about one thing, helping children. Megan, thank you for being with us. When I
childhelp.org.
12, so upset about a bad grade, and now she's missing, and she was immediately described as a runaway. It's been 8 months. A child that's that upset about one bad test grade, I just don't see her running away.
I don't either.
I don't see it either, Nancy, and thank you for having me. We see children like this a lot, and that tells me that she's so upset about a grade. It's a perfectionist. It's one way to get her mother's approval, keep peace in the family. There's been a lot of discord. And like you said, she's a baby. She's 12. She cannot sustain 8 months by herself.
Baby.
I just pray to God that she's still alive. And speaking of this little girl's nature, I want you to hear what mom has to say. Listen.
Did she?
Where does her mother live?
In the middle of the night to go be outside
Tallahassee, I'm assuming.
Voluntarily without being manipulated? In no world does that make sense. She might be outside in the dark.
Yeah, I haven't heard any different. Tallahassee.
She is scared of everything. How are you outside?
Yeah, Carrie's
in the dark
verifying Tallahassee.
For this long? And who's feeding you? Who is feeding this child? Because again, I know my child.
Her mother right here.
Her first word was eat.
So, Dr. Bethany Marshall, when the mom tells us that, how scared the child is, she's afraid of the dark, she doesn't like the outside, she loves to eat, she loves the meals. None of this makes sense with the phrase that this little girl just took off. I'm just not buying it.
No, none of it makes sense. I mean,
when she disappeared, it was nighttime. What do you think this little 12-year-old girl's going to go out and take an Uber? That did not happen.
No,
Nancy.
No, and her mother knows her daughter, right? I mean, who best would know her than her own parents? However, one thing concerns me, and that is that the mother is talking like a police detective, not like somebody who's concerned about her daughter. Now, I'm not saying she's not concerned, because she might be shocked, dissociated, unable to express her love. On the other hand, a mother who's this methodical and detached.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to defend the mother. In defense of what the mother is saying, she's extremely defensive and angry that the police and others have just written Lori off as a runaway. Take a listen to what Mrs. Brazzi, the mom, has to say about her daughter being labeled a runaway.
The police report said that she ran away, and there's no reason why they believe that she was taken. And that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because you can voluntarily leave under manipulative circumstances. So, and then whether she voluntarily left or not, she's a child. What rights do children have to move around as they please? Can she get in the car and voluntarily drive down your block? Because just as sure as she gets in the car and starts to drive it, that's going to be a problem. But when she voluntarily leaves and is missing, like, this doesn't make sense. Things that don't make sense.
I'm surprised she still has it up.
Where is Lori Page?
She's responding to her daughter being called a runaway, and it doesn't make any sense.
You know, Nancy, I completely retract my comments from before. She's sounding like a police detective because there are no detectives helping her. She's having to think this entire thing through herself. And she makes the most excellent point. Even if a child walks out of a house to a stranger, that's not voluntary. It's never voluntary when a minor leaves the house and never
Usually,
returns. So
I think it's Snapchat or something.
Back on her own.
I don't know anything about Snapchat except it's not good.
To find her own child. Can you imagine if John David or Lucy went missing and you had to be the detective? You had to.
You know, another thing, Dr. Bethany, I think that she's doing. I'm certainly no shrink. I want everybody.
I think in this case, you're right. I think that they did fail this child. The police. I mean, I just think that there's so much they could have done as far as going a little bit further to check. I would like to think that I hope it don't have anything to do with her race, because Tallahassee is a heavily populated Black area. So I hope to goodness it didn't have anything to do with that. But why is she not getting any attention? How many runaways do you know that don't get attention? I mean, I've never come across any. Usually they're looking for them. They're put out there. I mean, and whoever said it a while ago, that's the way they do here too. If you're under a certain age, they look for them like they done committed a crime. Here. Yeah, full audio credit belongs to Nancy Grace. And she is all over this case. She just actually heard about it as well. And she wants everybody to please get this baby's name and face out there. Please. Crafty, I'm not sure about all the details. I'm fixing to dive deep into this case. I'm not far from there, and something just told me to stop into this live earlier, and I did stop into this small channel, which Millie's going to drop the link for me, and I want to promote them. I hope y'all will go over and sub, and I know they're going to work on it. And, you know, that's how I found out about this. And I sit there and I listen and I'm like, this is right down the street for me. Well, and this is where I go all the time, very often. Yeah, this One Love. Yeah, I'm gonna deep dive into this case. I'm gonna deep dive into this case. And because I can, that's why. And because I want to, that's why. I didn't really want to do another child's case, but let me tell you something. Again, that's why I say never. But I'm going to. I'm going to because there's no digital footprints. And somebody's got to open this book back up on her. Somebody's got to be willing to get down and dirty. Somebody's got to be willing to take the short end of the stick, and that always seems to be me. So I'll figure it out as I go, and I'll see what I can do. Don't come at me and don't say nothing to me unless you're doing the same thing. That's what I got to say about it. Let's continue.
Somebody else on the panel to jump in on this. She's methodically, as best she can, going through what she left. A 12-year-old? Well, who's going to feed her? What is she going to eat? She's afraid of the dark. She wouldn't have done that. What, if she get in a car? She's not going to drive. I mean, she's going through all these permutations and possibilities and ruling them out. And I have found, Dr. Bethany, that when you're faced with this horrible
I don't know.
happening,
I can't really speak on that because I hadn't got that far yet.
You try to apply logic to an illogical situation.
I really don't know.
And it doesn't work.
I don't want to speak on anything I don't know.
More difficult. And that's what I hear the mom doing.
You know, I agree with you. And, you know, part of being a mother is something called maternal preoccupation.
Oh, thank you, September.
And what that means is no matter where your
y'all
child
are
is,
appreciated.
no matter who's taking care of your baby, you're thinking about them all the time. Now, imagine your child is missing. That's going to be thinking about your child in a desperate kind of way. And I like your use of the word permutations. She's trying to think of every single possibility. But not only that, these are rebuttals to the questions of people around.
You're right. Like, what about it, Megan, crying? You're hearing Dr. Bethany Marshall. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, yes, the mom's out of control. She has no control, right? Can you imagine? I have 2 children, not knowing where they are, and for 8 months. I mean, we're coming up on a year.
What the mom is saying right now makes a lot of sense to me. Guys, also, the specter of a mother's and father's worst nightmare. Take a listen to what the mom, Miss Brazzi, says.
Tallahassee has some of the worst sex trafficking in the state. And it's 20 minutes to Georgia.
Oh, thank you, Andy. Thank you. Y'all thank Andy.
Yes,
thank you.
I'm concerned. I'm very concerned.
Joining me, Nicole Parton, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. Isn't it true that we have learned the night before she goes missing, she and her dad were at home as normal, watching TV? No problem, correct?
That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
Now,
thank you, Andy.
Goes to work, and there are witnesses that
she
saw
gifted
them there
10
together,
memberships.
chilling and watching TV. Everything was fine. Yes, no.
Yeah, correct.
Then he goes to work as usual at a nearby prison facility. He works at a CI, Correctional Institute. He goes to work.
I'm not sure,
fine.
Stephanie.
Locks the door. She's there.
You write that down.
Comes home the next morning and she's gone. Yes, no.
Yes.
Now, Nicole Parton, there was one unusual circumstance that happened the night before, early in the evening. Didn't the mom show up at the house and that upset Lori?
She did. The mom showed up at the home, and there was an altercation to the point that her father, being protective, called the police and said, "Can you please come out and remove the mother from the home?" The police were not at their home all of the time. This was a good man. Things, it's not like.
I wonder. Let me tell you. Wonder why the mother came to the phone, which I haven't got there yet. Wonder why the mother came there and they had an altercation. Wonder if it was over the child. I would like to pull that police report too. Hold on, let me. Night before. And that's June 2nd. They said the dad was a good man. Yeah, she lived with her dad, Andy. And as you know, even though you're in Georgia, as you know, well, yeah, Carrie, but I can walk right in there and get it. They'll pretty much. Florida's a little bit different. Well, anyway, never mind. I don't know. Is it the same way there, Andy? I know it is here, and I know it is pretty much Tennessee. If a man gets the child, the mom's got to be pretty bad. I don't know any other nicer way to say that. I'm just saying, I'm not accusing the mom of anything because I don't know. I'm just saying it says a lot if the dad gets the custody of the baby. I mean, and that's good. I mean, it just says a lot because normally they keep with not saying that the dad don't get visited and all that. It's just if you see a dad with custody, you can assume that dad is a damn good father. Now, not to say he's not if they just have regular back and forth, because that's mostly normal. It's normal if the mother has a child. But I'm just saying, if you see, and that's anywhere you go, a dad that's got custody is, Andy, it's very rare. And if you see that, there's a damn good reason why. So I just want to know why, I would really like to know why. She came there. Yep, in Florida, everyone is a mandatory reporter. However, there are two types of reporters. Mandated reporter general, and then I don't know what the other one is because you got to go down and do it. But yeah, yes, basically yes. Yep, absolutely. Whoever just asked me that, I just want to be sure. And that's why I don't know, even right there sitting with the Capitol, I don't know what the hell's going on over there because usually they don't play around down here with their kids. So I don't know, but I'd like to find out, and I'm going to. Let's see. Where did my little thing go? Oh, there you are. There you are, Nancy Grace.
How can a 12-year-old...
No, you didn't start over.
Just...
Oh, my God.
Probably, it doesn't work. And it gets harder and harder and more difficult. And that's what I hear the mom doing.
Hold on a minute. Hold on.
I agree.
Hold on. Shut up. Shut. Hold on just a minute. I understand. I understand that, Elizabeth. That's not what I'm talking about. That is not what I'm talking about, though. I don't know why there always has to be one. I'm not jumping on you. I'm just saying. That is not what that's not what I'm talking about. The majority of the time, we're taking that out of the situation, okay? We're taking the money, we're paying the attorneys to get it. We're talking about, in general, normally, if you see a man, I know how it is here. I'm just saying. And that's what we're talking about, the state of Florida. If you see a man, and I did ask for other states, if you see a man that has his child, usually it's because he's a damn good man. And don't tell me it's because he's had the money to pay off somebody, because I beg to differ. I know different. Most of the time, the child, if the mother is fit, it will go to the mother. And that includes here. That's all I'm saying. I am having a serious conversation here, and I'm not trying to go into the tidbits, tit for tat, who gets who, when and where, and who's right and who's wrong. Right now, I'm not trying to jump on you. I'm glad you understand Florida law. I understand Florida law as well when it comes to that. But I'm talking about this little girl right now. And I'm telling you, I don't know him, but I'm telling you, most of the time, they're good. Now, did I just say 10 minutes ago that this man needs to be checked out? Because you're sitting here arguing with me right now about father's rights in Florida. I don't give a damn about that right now. I fucking don't care about that, okay? That's not what I'm talking about. Why are you sitting there talking about that? I don't care. Moving on. Let's just listen to Beth. I don't even know where I was at.
Mother is something called maternal preoccupation. And what that means is no matter where your child is, no matter who's taking care of your baby, you're thinking about them all the time. Now, imagine your child is missing. That's going to be thinking about your child in a desperate...
But did I just tell you, in case you just coming in and you miss it, I'll tell you again. I had about 1 full hour, maybe if that. I come across this case by accident. I was in a live room that she just heard about it today. She was listening to the same video I was. And then I had about another 20 minutes to write it up. I decided that I'm going to dig deep into it. I don't know all the details, in, out, whatever. And I'm not going to sit here and argue about what's right and wrong about a damn Florida law. I don't care about a fucking Florida law right now. Well, then maybe you should rewind, and I accept your apology. But that's why you can't come in somebody's channel and just tell them what in the hell is a Florida law when they're not even talking. You don't even know what happened at the beginning of the thing, okay? That's just my advice to you. Now, you're welcome here and your opinions are welcome, but if you don't know what in the hell you're talking about and you just got here, then I would suggest next time keeping your mouth shut. That's just being blunt.
Kind of way. I liked your use of the word permutations. She's trying to think of every single possibility, but not only that, these are rebuttals to the questions of people around.
You're right. Like, what about it, Megan Crying? You're hearing Dr. Bethany Marshall. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, yes, the mom's out of control. She has no control, right? Can you imagine? I have 2 children, not knowing where they are, and for 8 months. I mean, we're coming up on a year.
What the mom is saying right now makes a lot of sense to me. Guys, also the specter of a mother's and father's worst nightmare. Take a listen to what the mom, Miss Brazzi, says.
That's a lot, butterfly kisses.
Tallahassee has some of the worst sex trafficking in the state. And it's 20 minutes to Georgia. So yes, I'm concerned. I'm very concerned.
Joining me, Nicole Parton, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. Isn't it true that we have learned the night before she goes missing, she and her dad were at home as normal, watching TV, no problem, correct?
That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
Now, he then goes to work, and there are witnesses that saw them there together, chilling and watching TV. Everything was fine. Yes, no?
Yes, correct.
Then he goes to work as usual at a nearby prison facility. He works at a CI, Correctional Institute. He goes to work. Everything's fine. Locks the door. She's there. He comes home the next morning and she's gone. Yes, no.
Yes.
Now, wow. Nicole Parton, there was one unusual circumstance that happened the night before, early in the evening. Didn't the mom show up at the house and that upset Lori?
She did. The mom showed up at the home, and there was an altercation to the point that her father, being protective, called the police and said, "Can you please come out and remove the mother from the home?" The police were not at their home all of the time. This was a good man. It's not like the cops were coming out every weekend. This was one incident where the mom showed up. The father did the right thing, called authorities and said, "There's an altercation. My daughter is upset." And the police came out and asked the mother to remove herself from the home.
Kathleen Murphy joining me, high-profile family lawyer. I'm sure this is not the first time you've seen trouble against warring exes, and the child is the casualty.
And these children at age 12 start to find their voice. They haven't quite found their voice, but they don't like that. They're going to want to speak to a judge, speak to their teachers, and speak out about what they should not be subjected to. And this little girl probably saw something that traumatized her.
Margie Summers with us, paraprofessional at Griffin Middle School, who knows Lori very well. What do you make of it?
I believe that it was an upsetting incident because the cops never showed up at their house.
See?
For the cops to even have to be called would have been traumatic in and of itself. And I'm sure after that happened, I'm sure her mind was whirling and she was trying to figure out what to do and how to take it. She turned to a stranger. Maybe she turned to a stranger to process the experience, or somebody was already predating on her. And at this point, she had nobody to process.
June 3rd, BB, last year, June 3rd.
Love and wanted to talk to her.
So she's.
I feel like Lori.
Go ahead.
I feel like Lori may have been overwhelmed.
Thank you, Carrie.
Even the bad grade she got on the standardized test overwhelmed her. And the burden.
You think so, Green Eyes? Because I'm starting to wonder.
For what's normal. And I'm sure the burden of what she just saw and maybe even felt responsible for would have weighed heavily on her. And I know sometimes when kids are overwhelmed, they flee that feeling of being overwhelmed.
Dr. Bethany, what do you make of that?
Well, I think what's happening with 12-year-olds is that they're slowly reassigning their attachments outside of the home. And this serves a biological function.
Yeah, I got
parents
questions.
home
I got a lot of
17,
questions.
18 or 19. So already they're looking outside the house. But this little girl, her primary interest was with her parents. You can imagine your parents fighting. And the idea, kids blame themselves. Whenever the parents fight, whenever a parent's neglectful or abusive, I'm not saying these parents were, they do not know that
Guys,
the failure is in the parent.
I hear you. I hear you. And I would love the opportunity to psychoanalyze Lori Page, the 12-year-old missing girl. But we have to find her first. And right now she's labeled as a runaway. She may have been upset that her mom and dad were having this war. And there was a verbal confrontation. The cops came over and blah, blah, blah. Okay, but where is she? I mean, is it just me? Jackie, help me. Mm-hmm. We have to find the girl. I don't need to figure out what she's thinking right now. I need to find her and get her to safety. If she was upset that night and went out and sat on her front porch, if she went outside in the front yard, where the hay is she now? Now, you heard Margie Summers state that the computer was handed in. So whatever computer she had was not the school computer. But witnesses saw her on a computer watching TV with her dad before she disappeared, before the mom came and raised a ruckus. So where is she now? I think I hear Chris McDonough. Can we psychoanalyze this child later after she's safe?
Yes, I get it.
Jump in, man.
Right, Nancy, and this is why the 14 detectives right now are realizing, holy cow.
Not one of 14 detectives would come on and make a plea for her. Spend 8.
Oh, God. Smarty pants, you forgot your N at the M. At the end of the M. That's what you get. Smarty pants. That's okay, y'all. Oh, God. You'll sit down. I will swat your hand. Darn, Chris, you had to come and get her all upset. You had to break it down to her in layman terms. Good Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh. Gotta love her. She's no nonsense. Oh, maybe that's why I like her so much. We're kind of alike. Carrie said. Oh, God. It's okay. I bet you one thing Nancy don't have that Smiley has. I bet she don't laugh like I do. Nancy Grace could never laugh like Smiley does. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, whoop. Smile around and find out, Nancy Grace. Smile around and find out. Ooh, God. Oh, God. Oh, I bet you she couldn't have hung 3 hours like I did. Not with Don Wells. That's a fact. She means business. She ain't wrong. She ain't wrong. She gets things done. I was reading up on her the other day. Oh, I used to watch her all the time every night. What all she's accomplished in her life. She really has. She really does need to be commended for all the things she's done. I know a lot of people don't like her. A lot of people think she's salty. But listen, I'm going to tell you something. My mom didn't like her. And I'm like, look at my mom sometimes because my mom can use that mouth. And I'm like, you are telling me you don't like the way she sounds. And sometimes you sound like, and I go, hey, Matthew. But yeah, Matthew, they're trying to tell me I sound like Nancy Grace. Oh, no. Now I know how they really feel about me. I don't know what's up with these people. Oh, now she's got her mouth open. This is what Doug likes. Look at that. Look. Why am I twirling? Oh, come back. Come back.
Months since his child disappeared. Why did you, Margie Summers, have to form the search committee? Why did you have to go out looking for her? Tell me about that.
Because other little girls, there's press conferences, there's rallies, there's news cameras, there's all kinds of attention. And my
right, Green Eyes.
Someone I cared about was getting none. That's not fair. It's
not
right.
A DAMN thing. No pressers, no big searches, no guys and women on horseback, no canines,
Nothing. And luckily, the media in my area did take interest in the story. And shortly after we asked them to help us, 2 news channels and the local newspaper all ran stories.
When?
But all to no avail. 14 days
yeah, I
after
like
she
her.
went missing.
Okay, that was 8 months ago.
2 weeks. Yes, it was 8 months ago, and nothing's happened since until the last week or so, and it's picked up steam again. But 8 long months.
I wonder why. Okay, so were there any sightings of her that night?
I do not know.
Where was she last seen? Anybody? Was she seen outside the home that night, Nicole?
Last seen at her home.
In the home?
Yes, correct.
No neighbor saw her come outside?
That's correct.
This was in June 3. School had just ended. No neighbor saw her outside. Right?
Correct. Right.
Do we have any idea, Nicole?
Just
Parton,
Doug.
Megan Crine, Chris McDonough, Dr. Bethany, Kathleen Murphy, Margie Summers. Was a search
Hold on, I'll put it
done
in here. Hold on.
of the home?
Oh, shoot. See what you did? Hold on. That was my fault. Hold on.
Like the cops were coming out every weekend. This was one incident where the mom showed
It's
up.
under just Doug. I'll find it in a minute and put it in here.
Authorities and said, there's an altercation.
I can't do it right now.
My daughter is upset. And the police
One of y'all
came out
drop,
and asked the
just
mother to remove herself from the home.
Kathleen
Somebody's
Murphy
asking
joining
for it.
me, high-profile family lawyer. I'm sure this is not the first time you've seen trouble against warring exes, and the child is the casualty.
And these children at age 12 start to find their voice. They haven't quite found their voice, but they don't like that. They're going to want to speak to a judge, speak to their teachers, and speak out about what they should not be subjected to. And this little girl probably saw something.
Thank you, Andy.
That traumatized her.
Margie Summers with us.
Whoever just asked for it, there it is right there.
Who knows Lori very well. What do you make of it?
Y'all all go sub up. That's the new channel he'll be on tomorrow night.
That
it was an upsetting incident because the cops never showed up at their house. For the cops to even have to be called would have been traumatic in and of itself. And I'm sure after that happened, I'm sure her mind was whirling and she was trying to figure out what to do and how to take. Maybe she turned to a stranger. Maybe she turned to a stranger to process the experience, or somebody was already predating on her. And at this point, she had nobody to process it with, which made her incredibly vulnerable.
Thank you, Michelle.
To anybody who showed love and wanted to talk to her.
So she's.
I feel like Lori.
Go ahead.
I feel like Lori may have been overwhelmed. Even the bad grade she got on the standardized test overwhelmed her, and the burden of it was far too great for what's normal. And I'm sure the burden of what she just saw and maybe even felt responsible for would have weighed heavily on her. And I know sometimes when kids are overwhelmed, they flee that feeling of being overwhelmed.
I thought about that today, BB.
Dr. Bethany, what do you make of that?
Well, I think what's happening with 12-year-olds is that they're slowly reassigning their attachments.
I don't think so. She might be, but I don't think so. Carrie might be able to answer that.
Preparing them to leave home when they're 17, 18, or 19. So already they're looking.
I haven't heard it.
But this little girl, her primary interest was with her parents. You can imagine your parents fighting, and the idea, kids blame themselves. Whenever the parents fight, whenever a parent's neglectful or abusive, I'm not saying these parents were.
Yeah, they said, from what I gather, that's what I gather too. They said she was highly intelligent. She loved.
And I would love the opportunity to psychoanalyze.
They said she was highly intelligent. She loved school. I mean, they said she was only upset because she got a little less grade, right, on her, on the one. On the one paper or whatever it was. But they said she did real good in school. She loved school. She loved to go to school. I think from what I heard that school was her outlet. I mean, that she enjoyed it. She liked getting away. She had to stay at home by herself at night. All she could really do was what? Maybe if she was allowed to stay up a little bit and watch TV and go to bed. I don't know if she was even allowed to watch TV, but I'm just saying, what can a 12-year-old do at home by herself at night? Sleep? Or even the good ones get out and get in trouble. Could that have been a possibility? I don't know. Hey, Estelle. The label of runaway is primarily given to Black women and girls from urban areas. Justice system make it difficult to refuse to provide Black women and girls the coverage. That's another reason I'm going to take this. I want to hope that it's not because of that. I do. Especially because that area is highly Black. And I would like to hope that that's not one of the reasons. I don't know. I'm not going to say it is. I'm not going to say it's not. I don't know. I want to go there myself and get a good feel for it. There's no digital footprints, but the best place to start is somebody has to start talking to people. I can do that on the phone. I'm good at it. I'd rather go face to face if I'm this close. I'm not going to hop up there tomorrow. I got things to do. But, I'm not going to tell everybody when. Is it illegal to leave a 12-year-old at home alone all night in Florida? It's certainly not illegal to leave them home alone. I don't know about all night. I certainly wouldn't do it. I don't know about all night, though. Well, yeah, with the college right there, there's a lot of, see, one thing they have there too, and with the college kids, they have a lot of people coming in and out because they have a lot of people that want to be, they make little, how do I say this? Short films and movies. So they have people come from all over that don't even belong in that area. Not even, I mean, they come from Georgia, Alabama, not even in the Florida area. If they're within a certain amount that they put out, that they go up there and them college students film them. That's what they were doing in the park the day that I was up there. If you remember, I'm like, what are y'all doing? Making a movie? That was the college students. They've even come here to make it, it's just so I'm saying anybody could have come, snatched her. There are a lot of apartments there. And if you hadn't been there in a while, it's really built up. It's just too much traffic. Where is she? Where did she go? Yeah. Thank you, Butter Biscuit. Boom. Yeah. Boom. I'd be curious to know, like, if they know, did they not have any, see, there's cameras and street lights, and I can't even tell you what all up there in Tallahassee. Why does the police, it's worse than, there's so much traffic there. Why is there no digital evidence? Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? You can't go anywhere without a camera being on you now. Where is she? Oh, I'm already interested in it. I'm already so interested in it. I am very interested in it. You have no idea. I don't know what, why, how it was meant for me to go in that room tonight. It was meant for me to go in that live. Drop her link again too. I thank her so much. She's, oh my God, she was so kind and so wonderful. I have been subbed to her, but I've never been in her live. I know she might have been in here, but she knew exactly who I was. She, bless her heart, she knew exactly who I was. I'm nobody important, y'all. But she gave me some information, and she said, I'll help you. Girl, what you mean? I'll help you. I'll help you. And I want y'all to sub. I want y'all to sub to her. Oh, hold on. I keep losing my, I want y'all to sub to her over at Sweet Misery True Crime TC. Sweet Misery TC for True Crime. Sweet as she can be. Very sweet. Yes. Anything we can all do to help. Right? Right. Exactly. Thank you, One Love. Thank you. I appreciate y'all subbing her. She is very sweet. She's very sweet. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. We only got just a few. What did I do with my stuff? Why does my stuff keep moving? I got a few more minutes of this. Yeah, I think this one has got me, I don't want to say excited. That's not the right word. But it's got me like, to get, I'm enthused to look into this case. Really, I really am, because this little girl needs to be found. I don't care if she's a runaway or not. Woo-hoo! Packers won the Super Bowl. There you go. Packers won the Super Bowl. So you owe me $100, right? You coming to tell me you owe me $100? Yes, I will. I always go with my heart. I always go with what my gut tells me and my heart. I absolutely will. And on this, I'm going to. On this, I absolutely am going to. Chiefs won. He's so silly. Woohoo! Woohoo! We can't even trust who won no more. I trust Green Eyes. Green Eyes said Chiefs won. They having a fight over who won. Woohoo! Oh God. So Chiefs did win. Okay. So silly. All right. So here's the rest. All right.
Lori Page, the 12-year-old missing girl, but we have to find her first. And right now she's labeled as a runaway. She may have been upset that her mom and dad were having this war, and there was a verbal confrontation, and the cops came over and blah, blah, blah. Okay, but where is she? I mean, is it just me? Jackie, help me. Mm-hmm. We have to find the girl. I don't need to figure out what she's thinking right now. I need to find her and get her to safety. If she was upset that night and went out and sat on her front porch, if she went outside in the front yard, where the hay is she now? Now, you heard Margie Summers state that the computer was handed in. So whatever computer she had was not the school computer. But witnesses saw her on a computer watching TV with her dad before she disappeared, before the mom came and raised a ruckus.
So where's that computer?
So where is she now? I think I hear Chris McDonough. Can we psychoanalyze this child later, after she's safe?
Yes, I get it.
Jump in, man.
Right, Nancy, and this is why the 14 detectives right now are realizing, holy
Not
cow.
One of 14 detectives would come on and make a plea for her. It's been 8
Not a
months
one
since his child disappeared. Why did you, Margie Summers, have to form the search committee? Why did you have to go out looking for her? Tell me about that.
Because other little girls, there's press conferences, there's rallies, there's news cameras, there's all kinds of attention. And my student, someone I cared about, was getting none. That's not fair. It's not right.
A DAMN thing. No pressers, no big searches, no guys and women on horseback, no canines, nothing.
Nothing.
I told you, no
and
canines,
luckily,
nothing.
The media in my area did take interest in the story. And shortly after we asked them to help us, 2 news channels and the local newspaper all ran stories.
When?
But all to no avail. 14 days after she went missing.
Okay, that was 8 months ago.
2 weeks. Yes, it was 8 months ago, and nothing's happened since until the last week or so, and it's picked up steam again.
Gee, I wonder why. Okay, so were there any sightings of her that night?
I don't think so, Stephanie.
Where was she last seen? Anybody? Was she seen outside the home that night?
I don't think they bothered.
Last seen at her home.
In the home?
Yes, correct.
No neighbors saw her come outside?
That's correct.
This was in June 3. School had just ended. No neighbors saw her outside. Right?
That's correct.
She does have a missing poster.
Do we have any idea?
I'll get that out.
Megan Crine, Chris McDonough, Dr. Bethany, Kathleen Murphy, Margie Summers. Was a search done of the home to see if any altercation had occurred? Were any windows broken? Was the lock jimmied? Do we know anything? Was the home even processed?
To my knowledge, the home was not processed.
So,
but I can tell you what they were thinking, Nancy.
What?
When they got there. When they got there, and this is where I was going. The critical turning point here is when they look at the father and they say, "Tell me about your daughter," and he tells them. The critical turning point here is, okay, 12-year-olds don't vanish. At that moment, 8 months ago, they should have immediately
You heard it too?
turned on all of the resources. Because at that point, everybody knows you have a 12-year-old who has vanished. Now, they could have been thinking, well, maybe she ran away. It doesn't matter.
Why do you keep saying maybe she ran away? I don't give a flying fig how this whole thing started. Okay, go ahead.
Right, but it's critical now when we look 8 months later back, and we now see resources that should have been put on within 3 hours of this child's disappearance. It should have all been in motion back then, and it wasn't. And that's a huge problem. That is a huge problem.
Too.
Well, not only that, think about this, Chris. Let me throw this wrench into the works.
Right. Where would she go to?
Home alone. No one is there to see what she's doing on the internet. Margie Summers, what do you think about the claim she had no social media presence? She didn't text. She didn't email. Nothing.
I never saw her personally involved in social media, but I will say she was smart, and all of the kids at our middle school are tech savvy. They're issued a computer for the duration of the year. So to think that she wouldn't know how to use a computer or how to get on the internet would be categorically false. All the children use the internet every day.
And we at Child Help, we're seeing an uptick in human trafficking. It's rampant. And that's where my head went first as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is this Megan Crine?
Yes, it's Megan.
Okay, tell me about that. And why was it stated by the mother that Tallahassee is notorious for sex trafficking? It is close to the Georgia-Florida line, very close. And close to I-75, which takes you all the way from Florida to New York City and beyond.
Mm-hmm. And we're on I-10. We are exactly dead center. It runs through the middle of our town. I-10 runs all the way from Jacksonville to California.
You know, another thing.
It sounds like Lori sounds. I'm sorry, Nancy.
No, go ahead, please. What I was going to say is, I'm wondering. I had a girl disappear from a stadium, an arena, a football game. And you know how they found her? Her face popped up on an internet, I want to say dating website, but it was an escort site. This child had been taken and was being pimped out of a hotel. Yeah.
That's so sad. And that's why I think education is so important. And we have the Child Help Speak Up, Be Safe curriculum, which schools across the nation can implement, and it teaches kids. I'm old enough to remember the good touch, bad touch, and this is an offshoot of that. And we just implemented a human trafficking prevention curriculum.
So trying to figure out, based on what Megan Crine from childhelp.org is saying, Chris McDonough, We have no indication the child is dead yet, but we don't know where she went. The home apparently wasn't processed. The police still think she didn't have a social media presence. I don't know if she had a phone or not. I don't think she did. So what in the hay do we do now? I mean, if it hadn't been for Margie Summers, there would not have even been a search. Oh, by the way, Margie, where did you search? What did you do during your search?
Me and some of the other teachers, staff members from the school got together and we handed out flyers in the immediate area. And then also on other days, I just went to some of the local convenience stores, taped them up there in case she popped in and out for a drink or a snack. Somebody would see her. I also asked the police, is there a place that we can look? Is there anywhere that we need to focus to put flyers? And they just had no search parameters at all. So I hit a couple of apartment complexes, spoke to the managers, gave them flyers in case they saw her in their pool area, on one of the chairs, something like that. But it was really, really hard to know where to look because there's just not any clues in any particular direction.
I'm just thinking, about what Margie Summers said, Chris McDonough, this little girl. The teachers got together and did a search for her. It wasn't the police, as I said, it wasn't ATVs and helicopters and heat-seeking sonar. The teachers got together. Why is this happening to this little girl? Why hasn't anybody championed her? Is it because she's Black?
That's what I want to know. Where's the cameras at?
That nobody cares about a 12-year-old
like
little girl?
apartment cameras,
look at her,
street
Chris.
cameras.
Nancy, nobody ever wants to see a child injured, hurt, harmed, etc.
Yeah, just teachers.
And in this
Told
particular case, what you're doing is the tip of the spear, raising public awareness, continuing is what is necessary. And, what the cops need to do, and they're long overdue. It's a shame that we're even having this conversation today.
Guys, please help us find this child. The tip line to help find Lori is 850-574-TIPS. 850-574-TIPS. Please help us. Goodbye, friend. Guys, thank you for watching Crime Online.
Well, I just can't get over it. I know, and she's 12 years old, Borrowed Angel. 12. And you would think her dad would, and him being a correctional officer. Why? And I wonder why her mom thinks she's in Georgia. I don't know. I'm gonna have to really deep, because there's a lot of it. Again, I'm just finding out about this. I'm just finding out about it. Nancy Grace was just finding out about it. It's just now getting back out there. You're welcome, One Love. I got things to put together and questions to ask. And if y'all get any information, I'm going to ask, send it to me at my email address. And, let me put it together and see what I can do or come up with. Because at this point, all that matters is we keep her name and face out there. That's what I think. It's just sad. So many missing children. What the hell? Are you serious? Is this another plot or another joke? And if he is, why would they tell them Unless, I mean, I don't know. Oh, God. Is that just now? I don't know, man. I don't know. I had to check that one out. But yeah, watch from the beginning. And your adopted parents wouldn't tell Dawn. That's what I'm thinking. Is that a plot or a joke? Why would they tell him? But yeah, missing from Tennessee. Missing from Tallahassee. I don't know why I thought that said Tennessee. Tennessee, Florida. Missing from Tallahassee, Florida. Black female. She was 120 pounds. Back about 8 months ago. Black with dreadlocks. Brown eyes. Last seen on June 3rd, 2023. And it's very important that you keep an eye out for. I will put her picture out with her. She has a flyer, and I will put it out on my site. Hold on a minute. Yes, come on. There it is. Okay. Yep, I can get both. Actually, I get 3. Okay, I can get 3 of them on there. Yay. Hold on. 1. I can get 5, but I was trying to get the best. 2, 3. Yes. Okay. It's on my community post. Now it has all of her information there, has who to call, what she looks like, and it but it says hair. It was unknown what she was last seen wearing. Yeah, they don't know what she was wearing. But they said she may have had a multicolored backpack. That's another picture of her right there. She's pretty. That's the one on her. But it's all on my community page. So, again, y'all go over and sub up to Sweet Tea. She got Sweet Misery TC. You read about it? See? It's coming to light. I don't know. There's a lot of studying I got to do on it. I got to get serious about it. There's a lot of studying I got to do on it and deep dive. I got to deep dive into it. I don't know. Where is everybody? So y'all go over, because I would have never found it if it wasn't for this channel right here, and sub to her and help her just get up there and like and everything, so we can get all this out in the algorithm, or she can, or whoever is sharing this baby's face. Okay, that's the mom. Okay. Where did who is Brooklyn? Why did you ask? I thought we had Brooklyn as her mom. Not we, but I thought that's what was said. Brooklyn was her mom. Was that wrong? I mean, it don't matter, but Oh, you just, okay, so that was the correct one. Okay. Thank you. I'm just notating this stuff. These little things. You know, Fran, that's what I was thinking. And how irate was she? And how do, I'm just saying, I'm going to say this because, look, I'm the only one that probably will say it. How do we know her mom didn't go back and get her and she's with her mom safe and sound? Did anybody bother to go check the mom's house? I'm just asking. All I'm doing is just asking. I hope the cops did make an effort to go over there and look. I'm just wondering. Yes, they did fight the night before. The mom went over there. The mom went over there and got in an altercation with the dad. He called the cops and she was escorted away. Does that mean she went to, I don't know. I want to pull that police report the night before and the day of. So, yeah, she could have come back that night while she knew he was at work. And now I'm not saying she did. I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm just saying it's a thought. What if? So did the police just say, oh, she's a runaway, close it, boom? Or relatives in other states. Who knows? But again, it's kind of like it's not Summer Wells. She's 12 years old. Surely, unless she's with somebody like her mom. If it was just another relative or something, wouldn't you think she could get a phone and or something and call her dad? I mean, we don't know. We never know these things. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. I don't know. She's 12. Yeah, she's 12. Yeah. Who are we talking to about the membership? What's going on there? Daily. Did I miss something? Somebody want to know something about the memberships? I'm trying to, but it went up too fast. It's okay. It's okay. Is everything okay? Anyway, I don't know. I'm going to get off of here now. Woo, that was a lot. Oh, my hair come off. That was a lot. But seriously, we're going to cover this. We're going to cover it. We're definitely going to cover it. And we're going to get her name and face out there. And we're going to do what we can. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I mean, thank you. I'm glad you think so. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you have any information, call it in. Also, just anybody that wants to email me any tips, email them to me. If there's anybody that wants to speak from that area, email me. We can do it on or offline, however necessary. I got to put some things together, and I'm going to deep dive into this case. I can even come to you and do face-to-face. You know, if you even feel more comfortable, maybe we can walk around the park. We just need to get her out. We need to get her out. Where is she? Okay. We'll be talking about this again. And just please share it if you can. At least you don't have to share this live. Just share it. Go to my community post. Share her picture. Get her picture back out there. Please. Please. And I'll get more information on this and get it to you. Thank you, Carrie, for giving me so much information tonight that was needed. Again, this case is so new. It's not new. It's 8 months old. But look, if Nancy Grace didn't even know about it until a few days ago, how are we supposed to know about it? Okay? Special thanks to Nancy Grace and special thanks to her teacher for going out and pushing this information. Thank you all. You have a good night. Thank you all for being here, for working so hard, for modding for me, for giving me your support. Thank you for all this memberships that was gifted tonight. Each and every one of you, you know I love you. Thank you. Love you. Good night.